control the two chambers of Congress.
And so far, Democrats currently lead in both the House and the Senate, but the results of the upcoming races could see a shift in power. In Alamance County, an updated voting map means residents will pick someone new to represent them in Congress.
Right. Democrat Valerie Foushee and Republican Courtney Geels square off in the upcoming midterm elections for North Carolina's 4th congressional seat. Tonight in our Commitment 2022 coverage, we sit down once again with Ms. Geels. Bill O'Neill has the story.
Courtney Geels is a newcomer to politics. Her background is in nursing. She's urging voters to send a nurse to Washington, not a politician.
I think most politicians, the longer they're in office, the less they're connected to the actual community.
Geels is the ultimate outsider. The Hillsborough Republican says she's not happy with either party.
I can tell you the Republican Party is not doing anything for me right now.
Why are they not doing anything for you?
They don't see the hope in me winning this district, and so, but their job is to elect Republicans to office, and so I think it's really disappointing when I know that there's a lot of donors in my district that are really upset because they do donate to the Republican Party and they don't feel like they're being advocated for.
Geels says she opposes government overreach, such as the vaccine mandate, and government overspending, such as the Inflation Reduction Act and the Green New Deal. She wears her faith on her sleeve. You said that the country needs Christian voices. What does that mean?
I do believe, I believe in God. I believe God is real. I believe God's in charge. And so I think those who believe in God and believe there's an ultimate right and wrong need to stand up for that and stand up for religious liberty, because I think we're losing that in our country.
Where? What religious liberty do you think we've lost?
I think specifically in schools. You're not allowed to pray.
Geels' campaign website doesn't mention former President Donald Trump by name, but she raises concern over election integrity, an issue led by Mr. Trump. Quote, "We must continue to investigate and hold the election board accountable to run an honest election." You had been, and I assume still are, a strong supporter of the former President Donald Trump.
Where did you get that information?
Fair question. I based my question on Geels' comments opposing the vaccine mandate and her concerns raised about an honest election. Are you a supporter of the former president?
I voted for Donald Trump.
Okay. Are you a supporter of his today?
I'm a supporter of change, and I would vote for President Trump again.
Okay. Do you believe his argument that the 2020 election was stolen?
So I'm going to answer that question indirectly, because my husband was the lead data expert on the Trump versus Raffensperger case in Georgia. Okay. So we have objective information that 100,000 votes in Georgia were blatantly against Georgia law. Geels isn't the only congressional candidate claiming their husband has evidence of election fraud in Georgia.
And my husband has
Marjorie
proof of it.
Taylor Greene.
We have FOIA evidence of proof of election fraud that came out.
Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene made the same claim during her debate with Marcus Flowers last week in Georgia. Do you believe the election was stolen?
I believe it was not free and fair.
Okay. Is that close to being stolen?
I think that every single person should be very concerned about the lack of controls in our voter registration data and voter integrity.
So do you believe the upcoming election then is in jeopardy?
Yes, but I'm running for the U.S. House. So I have enough faith in our democracy that I think that most people want free and fair elections. And so I'm very in tune with knowing what the process is and advocating for a good process.
Courtney Geels faces Democrat Valerie Foushee in North Carolina's 4th congressional race. It includes Alamance County. Bill O'Neill, WXII 12 News.